but the VR6, for those who don't know, it's a very special little engine. And I don't think a lot of people outside of like the Volkswagen community really like appreciate it for what it is.
Right. It's a pretty like niche kind of thing, like in the community.
And especially if you're just getting into cars, like you probably just think like VR6, V6. You're kind of not wrong, but you are a little bit.
Yeah.
So brief history lesson, I guess, or whatever on engines, right? So you've got kind of two ways that engines are produced. They're either in some sort of V or they're an inline engine.
Yep.
That's kind of been everything for the most part. So
Except
I guess boxers
Subaru,
too. Yeah. Then
Porsche.
there's boxer engines.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about those. So
Rotary.
there's 3. No, there's rotary.
Welcome back to the Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jacob.
Welcome back to the show.
This week, we're going to get right into some full send series.
Right into it. Let's go.
All right. So for those of you who are new, again, full send. We're going to watch some videos of like automotive activities, and it's either going to be make or break. Are they going to make it? Is it going to be something really cool, or is it going to go horribly wrong? Which I think we're both voting for every time. We're hoping it goes wrong.
Yeah, so these are our video curations, things we've seen through the week, and also submissions. So send them in if you guys see something crazy, either automotive win, automotive fail, whatever it may be. We'll get them into, I guess, what's the easiest way for that? Socials and email?
Yeah, tag us on TikTok. That's the easiest thing. Or just send it to us. Send it to us on TikTok at Third Pedal Podcast.
Yep.
And we'll add them in and watch them for the first time together.
Instagram, same thing, at the Third Pedal Podcast.
Yep. Instagram's the only weird one with the at the beginning of it. The rest of them are just Third Pedal Podcast.
And they won't give it to us.
We'll get
That's
there.
fine. We'll get it.
But yeah, send stuff to us if you see anything just while you're scrolling through. Super easy. Share, send to us. We'll add it to our next episode. So anyway, without further ado,
let's do it.
So let's just start off strong with the BMW. Okay. I hope you haven't seen this one yet. I got to stop it pretty quick. So
is he drifting off a ramp?
He is drifting off a ramp, man.
Oh no.
So we've got a E46 3 Series. Looks like either a 330 or an actual M3.
Mm-hmm.
Might be an M3 with the bumper and stuff, but
it's got the fender little vent thing too. That's an M3 thing.
So it's at an event. For those listening, he's at an event. He's drifting through, starting a left-hand drift, and he's going up one of those risers that's maybe like 8 inches off the ground, 10 inches off the ground, something like that. So
why do they do this jumping drift? Like, I feel like it's going to go.
Everybody saw in that one Ken Block video.
Yeah,
and everyone's I think it might be a
they don't realize that that's like the car is set up for ramp drifting, you know, like crazy stuff like that. So I'm going to go break it on this one. There's no way that. Look how compressed the suspension is already.
I know.
I think he's losing a wheel.
He's breaking it?
I think he's breaking it.
All right, here we go.
Start over. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, keeps it going too. Oh,
right?
No, not that long.
So
wow.
Anyway, yeah, that was pretty great.
That's brutal.
That one, I don't even know. You're replacing a lot at that point.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, your whole rear subframe probably, right? And the
it probably ripped
suspension,
the entire control arm off. Probably jacked up the differential because somehow the CV joint got pulled out. So it either was that joint or that joint. So
yikes,
not a good time.
That's brutal. Don't drift
I love
ramps.
The music over it.
Right. All right. I only got one left on here, I think. Right. Okay. So it's got a little bit of lead time. So they're just working on a Honda on lift. It looks like they got another. I don't know if this is a jack or something that they got to pull out. I think they're pulling something out.
Wait. Okay, pause it. Can I see closer? What's going on? Oh, so it's like an extra support back
I think
there?
so.
So it's on a 2-post.
Yep.
Okay.
I need some help pulling it out. All right.
Okay. Doesn't, I mean, it's not like I have a shop, but that doesn't look like the most reputable shop.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's too much liquid on the floor for it to be a good shop.
So I don't see how this goes great.
Like, there's very few avenues for this to go well.
Yeah, like I don't see, unless it's like a faster way to drop like the drivetrain out, but they're also supporting it by the back. So I don't know. I think it goes bad. I just have no clue what's about to happen.
Okay, here we go. It's so brutal.
Like the back is go play it again. The back is bad enough, but dude, the front, the things like take the doors out on the way up.
Yeah. It pulls like the whole side skirts and everything right off.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be like, would you rather that be like you're working on the car, you're the guy that's saying, no, we can just pull the support out. You do it. Would you rather it be your car or would you rather it be a customer car that you have to go explain to somebody and your boss?
I'd probably rather it be my car.
Right? Just to be like, sad as that especially that, just be like,
yeah,
I guess something else. We're done.
Good. It's good.
Oh my gosh.
That might be an insurance issue, I would think, at some point. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, I came out to the street and the car was like that. I don't know what happened.
I'd hit a curb. I don't know. That might be, now thinking of insurance with that. Yeah. That might be like well, it's too far gone. Yeah. Let's get something out of it.
Safe to say it's totaled.
Yeah, right.
All right. What I say? I have 2 of them left, or I just have 1? I think it is just the one.
I think you just said that one. We didn't go through yet.
This guy. Okay. So this one was circulating. I think this is great. That's all you get.
That's as far as I get?
That's all you get.
Wait, they're putting the timing belt
on? So they're doing the timing kit. That's I think it's the Gates racing belt or whatever.
Yep.
So it's supposed to be like I think the title of this video is supposed to be a faster way to change the timing belt on whatever this is, K series.
This looks like a built motor too.
Right?
Look at the extra AN ports on there.
Right.
All right, I don't know. I mean, it's got to go poorly, right? It can't go well. This is gonna go
anytime wrong. How to do the timing belt faster.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like something that's gonna be like, oh yeah, great. That was a great way to do it.
Right. Good idea, Bill.
Oh my god.
What?
So they split the block in half.
Oh, I'm like, I don't think that comes apart like that. Holy cow.
So I found the story about how this happened. Yeah, this is nuts. So
I've never seen the sleeve cylinders on their own like
Isn't
that.
Nuts? And I think they flipped this over in a second too.
How much
I think that's the coolant passage. So apparently the story is the wastegate stuck closed, and so it put 80 pounds of boost through and split the block in half.
That's all it takes, 80 pounds, huh?
I guess. But I mean, when you think about it, that's a lot of boost.
Holy cow.
But yeah, that was...
Wow.
Didn't know that was possible. I know you could split a block that way. I'm shocked that was the weak point. That he must have had it very well built, that it didn't throw a rod or something at the bottom of the engine.
Or just blow the gasket or something.
Yeah,
you know? Like
that it would get to that failure
shout
point.
Out whoever those head studs are from, you know? That's
can you imagine though that happens? And I imagine that sound was bad. And then you bring it back.
Is there video of that? Do you know?
I didn't find any. There's gotta be though. But
that's crazy.
Can you imagine? So that happens, and then you bring the car back and you're doing the diagnosing. Like, how many times have you been diagnosing something and there's an obvious thing right in front of you, but you don't notice it?
Yeah.
So they're probably like, I don't know, like, let's pull the oil pan. And they pull the oil pan. They're like, it all looks good. I don't know. Like, let's check spark, check fuel, do all this kind of stuff. And then probably at one point they're like, and then the guy's like, wait. And there's just coolant pouring out of the block.
Or you just see the little crack in there.
Check.
Well, so go back before they pull it off.
Yeah.
You can't. Is it paused?
Yeah.
Oh, go back a little bit. Oh, okay. I guess now.
Now you can kind of see. Oh, yeah. You can definitely see.
You can see. It's cracked.
That's so impressive.
There's a hole right there.
It's so crazy.
Insane.
I've never seen a block.
You definitely threw me off with the timing belt thing. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a faster way to change the timing belt.
I know when I watched it, I was just like, okay, I just did the timing on the WRX. I was like, okay, what?
Yeah, right.
Why is the motor sitting on the ground like this? Like, that didn't seem right. But then,
I mean, of the catastrophic failures you can have,
I think this is the tensioner that exploded.
Wow. Like, they didn't wreck the head.
True.
They didn't wreck the cylinders.
Yeah.
Or the pistons.
Yeah, true.
The lower end and who knows?
So get a new long block and rebore it out, put the sleeves in. Yeah, that's
just the block, and you got to rebuild
lower block.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work, but I mean,
based on everything else they did, though,
that
was probably the last original part on that motor.
Right. It's not the last thing. So can't you get billet blocks too for those things? I think there's kits for even my car. You can get
you can do
blocks.
it. It's just so expensive.
Well, yeah,
but I mean, I guess if you're that far into building something, you're probably at that point you're probably like a super killer or something, like a sleeper in this crazy Civic or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's nuts.
It reminds me of, I think I sent you the video where it's like when you finish rebuilding the motor in your Subaru and now all you need is a new motor. Yeah, the guy's freaking out. It's like, that's what that feels like. Well, yeah, as always, if you guys see videos, whether they go good or bad, they make it or break it. send it to us on TikTok, Instagram, anything. We'll show it in an episode, but just tag us at Third Pedal Podcast.
Yeah.
But
send them our way. We love reacting to those things, especially when I think it's more fun if neither of us know what's going to happen.
Right.
I guess we won't know where to pause it then necessarily, but we can just watch it.
Yeah, we'll just start watching it and pause where we think it needs to happen, or you'll get a really raw reaction of something happening way earlier than we thought. But anyway, so okay, cool. Those are awesome. We have officially launched our merch store at thirdpedalpodcast.com. We've got hats, we've got hoodies, stickers, things like that. First up here, life's too short to drive boring cars. It's got the lettering design in the back by yours truly. Third Pedal Podcast logo on the front. Next up, and this is probably my personal favorite, the Tail of the Dragon shirt. I'm wearing it now. This shirt, it's very special to me. I designed this to surprise the guys when we went on our original road trip to the Tail of the Dragon back when this whole thing started at episode 1. We weren't going to print this for anybody. This was just going to be our thing. But we realized you guys have been commenting in the topics that we talk about, emailing, showing us your builds. It's been really cool. So we wanted to open this one up. We're going to do a one-time print of this one. Limited time only. You guys can get the Tail of the Dragon shirt. And then the final design here, this guy. This is my garage shirt. This thing's designed to get stained the more you work on your car. We've got a dad hat, we've got a beanie, and we've got stickers. Place your order, thirdpedalpodcast.com. So I wanted to wish a very special happy birthday to someone who's not been part of our lives at all. Oh, your life a little bit. You flew with it a little bit, right?
Yep.
Had some
took flight with that thing.
Had some seat airtime. But the VR6 engine, I'm not sure when, but apparently it just turned 30, which is crazy. That engine's weird. 30 years old. Yeah. Because I think it started in the Mark 3s? Were those the first VR6s?
Must have been.
Something like that. But anyway, so happy birthday, VR6.
Yeah, they had that was probably starting with the 12 valve, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Those older ones,
yeah. And then yours was what?
24 valve.
Yours was a 24? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I know there's been crazy stuff done with that engine, crazy turbo builds. I saw recently some guy has the record for the highest naturally aspirated horsepower out of a VR6. And I want to say it was like 280, something like that, 280 horsepower. High revving, it was in a GTI or something like that.
That's sweet.
But the VR6, for those who don't know, it's a very special little engine. And I don't think a lot of people outside of like the Volkswagen community really like appreciate it for what it is.
Right. It's a pretty like niche kind of thing, like in the community.
And especially if you're just getting into cars, like you probably just think like VR6, V6. You're kind of not wrong, but you are a little bit.
Yeah.
So brief history lesson, I guess, or whatever on engines, right? So you've got kind of two ways that engines are produced. They're either in some sort of V or they're an inline engine.
Yep.
That's kind of been everything for the most part. So I guess boxers
Subaru,
too. Yeah. Then there's
Porsche.
boxer engines.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about those. So
rotary.
there's 3. No, there's rotary. There's all the ones that we broke last week.
Yeah. In general, though, a V platform or an inline platform
typically
is
that's
the
what
most
you're working
common.
with. Yeah, and you've typically got an inline, like a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and then you've either got a V6 or a V8. Some V10, some V2. There's other stuff out there, but for the most part, most of the cars you see driving today are either going to be an inline 4-cylinder or V6. That's like the most common engines you see. So Volkswagen, I'm not sure what the primary drive for this was, other than I think it's a significant weight reduction, is how they kind of thought, okay, what if instead of a full V, we could save some space, we could bring that V to be a lot narrower, where now you've got a single head of the engine and all of the cylinders, instead of firing, because I guess I should illustrate that too. So you got an inline 4 engine. So you've got 4 cylinders that run longitudinally right down the middle.
Yep.
If you've got a V engine, you have a crankshaft that's shared down in the middle. All the pistons are running out at a V, so they're firing this way.
Yep.
So in a VR6, it's really interesting looking at a head gasket. I'll cut a head gasket of it in here to see the top of the engine. But you've literally got a V that instead of being far out is rotated, so they're just staggered on the top. They're just offset. So
it's like two kind of forward, 2 kind of back, and they're like kind of interlocked.
Yeah. So
like
you
that.
see this staggered.
Probably should just use a photo.
Staggered look, right? Yeah. If you hold on, let me see your hands here. But you've got this really weird looking head of the engine because you've got this really tight V. And so you save, I think there's a lot of weight savings. There's a lot of space savings to get a lot more cylinders in a smaller space.
Yep.
But then you get the power advantages of having 6 cylinders.
I think you get a
4.
shorter block too than like a regular straight 6.
Because they're all stacked.
Because you can compress them at an angle.
That's true.
And then you don't get as wide of a platform either because it's not that full V. You don't have to have 2 heads, all that stuff. So
so it's a much tighter configuration of engine. But so they started that back then. But I mean, even now, they still, like the Touaregs, up until those were discontinued here in the States, those all had VR6s. I think that the Atlas does too. I think that's still a VR6 platform.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was just straight up V6.
Not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I know the engine's been used for so much, but even, you'll see some of the older, like the Passats, there used to be a W8 engine that Volkswagen produced. So the W8 was the same type of concept. It was a V configuration, like a V8 engine, but each of the heads had 2 staggered cylinders. So I don't know if you've ever seen that. The cylinder heads of a W8 engine are that. It's two sets of 4 on each side, but they're offset like that. So
I've never seen a cylinder head. Photo of it.
Look it up real quick. Let me see if I can
pull that. I'm gonna try to find the Atlas thing quick.
Yeah, W8 cylinder. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. So that's one of the cylinder heads in the Volkswagen W8 engine.
Weird.
So yeah, here's the block. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
So that's what the W8 was. That's how they achieved the W. And the same the Bugatti Veyron, right?
Yep.
I think that was also a W16 configuration, I believe. Right? Is that what it was? Do you know that for sure?
Yeah, W16, yep.
So same situation, because that was an engine that was built on the same premise of having a W and having these staggered engines in there.
So yes, the Atlas, it looks like, did come with 3.6 VR6.
There we go.
With the Atlas. That's cool. I had no idea that had a VR6 slide.
They kind of quietly
advertise
kept
it as a V6.
They do. Yeah, you're right. And on all of them, they advertise everything as just a V6. But so I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, so happy birthday, VR6.
Yeah.
And then this leads me to the thing that I'm frustrated about this week.
Well, are you still going on VR6s?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
No,
Continue.
you can say your thing.
Okay.
Oh, it is this thing.
Well, that's not what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about, so the VR6, obviously it's in GTI. They used them in the Golf R, some of the early Golf Rs.
Yep, that's right. I forgot about that.
The Mark V, I want to say, was the one that was manual.
Yeah.
And the Mark 6 was the one that was the DSG. Both of those, I think, were VR6 for the Golf.
Mark 4 and 5, I think you're thinking, right? Because Mark
Maybe
6,
4 and 5.
I think Mark 6, they switched over to the 4-cylinder. They switched. It's basically an S3.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the R32s.
I forgot those were VR6s though.
Yeah, those things are sweet.
That's right.
And then some people are. It's still a relevant platform.
Right.
Like people are still using it as swaps. Most notably, probably would be, I just forget the guy's names. They swapped the RS3 with the VR6.
Oh shoot,
George, I think.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
George and Stav, maybe.
I don't know. We'll post a photo of it. Yeah.
We'll shout those guys out.
And like huge turbo and stuff too, right?
That thing is nuts, and the sounds that they get out of that is crazy.
Yeah,
and I know they're pushing those things 1,000+ horsepower.
It's nuts.
It's just crazy. So you thought the RS3 is already crazy enough, right?
Right.
Like 5-cylinder platform is awesome too. Another iconic VW engine.
Right.
But that with the VR6, it's just crazy.
It's just nuts. It has such an interesting sound because it's not totally V6y,
right?
Like a Nissan platform or anything like that. It's really, really unique. But I mean, even your neighbor that was driving his the other day, that just drove up and down the driveway, even just had such a neat.
It's
sound
got
to
a
it.
very unique sound.
Yeah.
Something about the firing order must be quite a bit different than a regular V6.
Yeah, it must be. But
they sound sweet.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like I feel like I learned the most about it when I was part of that the Audi performance build group, because it seems like a lot of Audi guys swap them into like B5s and B6s.
Yep.
Seems to be really popular to replace the 2.7 and to go something like a single turbo build on a VR6 or something there. But speaking of turbo VR6s, this is the thing that's got me pissed off this week. So apparently in China, of all places, so this is China's Atlas. This is what they got instead of an Atlas. So it's a VR6
that's weird looking.
turbocharged.
Okay, that's cool though.
Whatever they call it. The
Octavia Pro.
Is that what it is? But look at like the inside view. Scroll down.
No, that's a Skoda.
Okay. It's on the
Talagon.
back. Yeah, the Talagon.
What?
So sick. Look at the inside of this thing.
Whoa. So it's like a minivan kind of.
Yeah.
It's a 7-seater or all 6-seater.
I mean, it kind of looks like a Q7 to me. Right? Like the size of a Q7.
Yeah,
like that kind of a thing.
Yep.
But I think this looks way better than an Atlas. Like I think this looks way cooler, way cleaner.
The Atlases are just kind of funky. They're like that sportback kind of SUV, not like a full SUV.
Yeah.
So this looks really nice.
I like it. Like my coworker has the regular SUV Atlas. I like those. I don't like the cross sport thing that they do, but this thing, man, like I don't know why they're letting the cool stuff out overseas and then over here. Like I think the front end of this, I don't know. I think this whole car looks cool, but I also really want that turbocharged VR6 to be over here so we can have some fun with it. But yeah, I don't know. Even I don't know if it's just this photo, but look at the illustration of the engine. Don't the cylinders look kind of Oh, it must just be the illustration. This is in the upstroke that's happening. I thought it was like 4 and 2. It's like, what is happening here?
Yeah, that the the layout. Is that what they're doing? Is it like mid-stroke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this guy here is supposed to be all the way up right now.
So it's showing where the firing order is essentially.
So
yeah,
then,
that's so weird.
So then this note in here I thought was interesting. So it's a 3-liter version of the VR6. It was one point supposed to be in the Arteon R. Volkswagen even built a couple of about 400 horsepower Arteon prototypes with the engine. But in the end, they decided to give it the 4-cylinder.
Man, that's such a bummer.
The ultimate explanation was to keep emissions figures down, and they didn't think people were going to pay for it. So I get it. They're probably right. But dude, could you imagine, like, that would have been a really cool if they brought the Golf R, the next generation Golf R, if they went back to a turbocharged VR6 and they went with this platform. I think you would have gotten a lot of like Volkswagen enthusiasts excited about that. But.
Well, so Volkswagen has gone away from, in a lot of ways, their higher performance stuff, right? They've got the Golf R.
Yep.
They've got the R line of a lot of their cars, but they're not necessarily like souped up. You know, Audi goes from AS to RS.
Right.
And there's like major differences in between them outside of just cosmetics. Right. And Volkswagen, which is probably smart with Volkswagen Audi Group since they are together, to not have like competing. Right. Like the Arteon it's very similar to an A6, S6.
Yep.
But they're keeping the performance figures down. So that's essentially an RS6.
Right.
Right.
It totally is.
Same
You're
type of platform.
You're right.
So by keeping it so it's 316 horsepower. That's not bad. We probably don't get that either.
No.
Right? We don't get the cool
have fun
turbo 4-cylinder one with the wagon. But by keeping that a turbo 4-cylinder, probably a front or all-wheel drive option, you're not competing against your own.
Yeah, that makes sense.
With Audi, because Audi's always been a higher price point too. Right. More, luxury and stuff like that. But the Arteons look awesome.
They look awesome.
They look really cool.
That's probably the best I've ever seen a grille integrated with lights was on that car. I think they did the best job.
Volkswagen's doing good with that, like with their even the new Tiguan. You see that they have like more swoopy lights that kind of go into the grille.
Well, and their electric car looks pretty cool.
Yep. And then the Mark 8 Golf Rs and GTIs and stuff, same kind of story.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those. I don't think a lot of people like them, but I think they look pretty neat.
They look really nice. It's
Although
a nice
after
update.
looking at the Cruise a couple weeks ago, I think that they kind of look like a Cruise a little bit.
They do kind of look like a Cruise.
But this is an interesting topic because I just read about this in a book too about Volkswagen experimenting, and they kind of learned where their place is. I think this is probably why we're not getting cool stuff. Is because their whole thing, like I think Volkswagen doesn't mean the car or the people, something like that.
I don't know.
I think that's what it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it originally. I think that's what Volkswagen means in German. Your wife will have to correct us.
Yeah. Check.
But so they had tried it with the Phaeton, I think it's what it was called. They were trying to come out with like a luxury car. So they released the Phaeton. It had the people's car. There we go.
People's car.
So the Phaeton was supposed to be, that was a V8 powered. It was a much more like a luxury car that came out like in when was that? Like 2008, something like that. Remember that one at all? It was very brief.
That was a, if I'm not mistaken, a V12.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
It could have been, but it didn't work. The theory was from this book that I was reading that it didn't work. No, V8, right?
W12 came with a W12,
Whoa!
6-liter W12 as well.
So it was a Bugatti, dude. You could get a Bugatti engine in one of these things. Yeah. Anyway, so that's why it didn't work. So they made that, and it just broke the whole purpose of Volkswagen is supposed to be an affordable car that gives you all the features that you need. That's like their brand vision. That's why they do everything they do. And so that one was the first car that ventured away from that. They went from that to, well, here's a luxury car with heated everything and wood trim and this, but it also came with like, I think at the time it was like a $60,000 car or something like that. So you could get, like who's going to spend $60,000 on a Volkswagen? That's what you buy an AMG for. Why are you buying the Volkswagen for that? So
that makes sense. It's kind of like out of their lane. Yeah. And that's probably why there's not so many of those.
Right.
Yeah, because they come with that W12, and
which is crazy.
It's basically what Bentley sort of thing, like a big body, like comfortable,
and I think that's
executive
what they were,
kind of car.
Yeah, that's what they were doing, but it just was out of their lane, so it didn't work. But
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's just interesting. But anyway, so that's for those who don't know, now you know what the VR6 engine is all about, what it means, why the VR6 is different than a typical V6. And why I'm frustrated that we don't get the Chinese version of it now. And I also don't know.
We don't get many. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just I don't know why we don't I think kind of where you were going to go. Like anything, it's just like, hey, is it cool? Not for the U.S.
Yeah,
then,
not
sorry.
for the U.S. And I don't know if that's the EPA's fault. I don't know if that's
it's demand
marketing.
Too.
Yeah,
everybody wants crossovers.
Hey guys, buy cooler cars. Like go into your dealerships, ask for these special option cars because I think you might be able to get some of them here. Like some of the
stuff.
options, not everything.
Yeah.
But if more people are buying those, then there's gonna obviously that increases demand, then that increases the market, and then people can actually make those cars here. So so we got to quit. I mean, we're part of the problem. We could quit complaining and just go buy.
If we sold our Tiguan and our Forester.
Yeah. Just
and then I go in and I say, hey, I would buy another Subaru, but I need a WRX hatch here again. Sorry.
Dude, that would be sweet.
Except I saw a concept of it and it kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, the new WRX in general is just not too hot. I think we went over that.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. The previous generation is definitely better.
Yeah.
But anyway, so speaking of 30-year long-standing, super reliable engine platforms that people are really sought after, you have an example of not that you want to talk about this week.
Definitely. So this is not a staple in reliability and dependability. So
I just read the URL and I'm excited.
So Hyundai, maybe don't be excited. It's bad. Hyundai and Kia, they have a huge recall out right now. If you haven't heard about it, you probably will soon. If you're listening to this while driving in your, let me get the date ranges again, your 2014 through 2016 Kia Sportage K900 or, well, if you're driving in a Kia 2014 through 2016, maybe, check this, take it to your dealer and check this. So they
allegedly, we're not claiming this is going to happen. We're just reading what we see.
I think you should get it checked. They sent it out
just so we don't get like a defamation.
I see what you're saying. Well, it's 485,000 vehicles.
Yeah, probably check your car.
That's not a small amount of cars.
That's insane. 500,000 vehicles.
Yeah.
And what's that? So what is it like a, like you got to go and get a software update? Like what's going on? What is the issue with this?
It's it's part of the anti-lock brake control module. So basically how it is it's a module that it's a hydraulic control.
Okay.
I forget exactly what it's called.
Yeah, like the normal, like the ABS unit.
Like the HECU or something like that. It's hydraulic electronic control unit, I think it was called.
Okay.
So essentially, that's got hydraulics and electronics all in one.
Sweet.
It's the brake fluid.
Okay.
So there was an issue in that where the brake fluid would leak into the electronics and cause the whole thing to catch on fire.
Oh, that's cool. Is brake fluid flammable?
Apparently.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a oil product, right?
Yeah.
Any of that stuff is technically flammable.
Interesting. I
Some
did
more
not
than
know
others.
that.
But
that's cool. So they're just catching on fire.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So it'll the hydraulics and the electronics will combine.
Wow.
More than they should. I'm guessing it's like a issue with seals leaking. I mean, you think about it,
That's
2014,
insane.
2016, that's already a fairly old car,
That's
right?
true.
We're coming close to 10 years on those earlier models.
That's crazy.
If you think about when they were produced, right? If it's a 2014 model, it was sold in 2013,
right.
maybe made in 2012. So realistically,
right.
it's a 10-year-old, coming up on 10-year-old car. So seals failing, gaskets failing, that's not like that unreasonable.
Yeah.
But to have such a catastrophic failure, you normally just have an oil leak.
Yeah.
And now you've got like the whole thing catches on fire.
That's crazy.
So Kia on fire. There's been tons and tons of news stories about it. So here's one of them, Kia Sportage. So it's
sweet.
like
catastrophic.
The whole car burning, the whole entire car burning. It causes that extreme of a fire. Because if you think about it, it's your car holds a lot of brake fluid a lot of times.
Well, I imagine that's just the catalyst. It starts and then other stuff catches on fire. Most of things in cars are flammable.
Right. Well, you got all of the rubbers and plastics and things like that are like quick burn stuff. And then you've got gasoline going right to it too. That's all right in the same area. So yeah, it's crazy. So anyways, if you're driving one of those right now, get it checked out. You probably got a letter to go get it looked at. I believe they're replacing those modules for free.
Dude, that's terrifying.
I probably would replace that module and trade it for me. I don't know. I don't like risking that. Kind of like this isn't brand specific. This happens to any car. Any car has recalls for any number of reasons. But
I mean, my Porsche has it too. Like you have to be careful. I need to, before I start driving again this summer, I need to replace the fuel lines because they're at an age now where a lot of guys in the forums have either caught a fire and put it out, or lost their car to a fire, or seen it cracking. It's just getting to the dry rod age. So
even those back to BMW,
the E46 thing.
E46
I was wondering if you're gonna go.
Yep. I had a friend. We talked about it in an early episode. Friend who lost his E46 sedan. It wasn't an M3 or anything like that, but it was a nice car. It was built up really nice.
Yeah.
And he lost that one to the fire. I think it was similar to yours, where it was
lost all the O-rings.
Yeah, the O-rings on the injectors, right? Yep. And then it's just spraying fuel over the engine bay.
Because I just got lucky.
Hot in there.
I came out to mine one day and there was just gas everywhere on the ground, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then I opened the hood and it's just Anyway, so yeah, get that checked out. Next time you see a Volkswagen with V6 on the back, just be thankful for the VR6 roots that made it. I don't know. That's weird.
I'll go back on that.
Think about the roots.
Volkswagen does have V6s, regular V6s.
Yes.
Yeah, they still have those too. And
Those are
Audi
not so
had those
great.
too. They never really did a VR6 in a lot of Audis besides probably the TT, right?
Did they do a VR6 in the TT?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, one of the older TTs, they did
Okay.
VR6.
Okay.
I don't think Audi really adopted that much, which is why aftermarket people and the the community is taking those as swaps.
Right. Which
They
is
see
very
the
cool.
potential, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, send in if you guys have any full send clips, send them in. Any other topics, if you guys have run into the Kia or Hyundai recall thing, send us a message about it. We'd love to hear about how that goes. But yeah, have a
Send
good
us
week.
anything. You got a cool build you're working on. If you've got a friend's got a cool car, parents got a cool car, whatever, you want us to, we'll rate a car. We'll do it, open to submissions.
Anything,
cool
yeah.
car stories, news, it's full send clips, anything like that.
Yeah, anything.
Send it in, tag us.
Yep.
Love
Active
to
on
see
all
it.
social. We try to post about 3 clips a week. So check us out. Mostly active on TikTok, Instagram. We've got Facebook. We've got it on YouTube. If you're listening to this, check out the YouTube video. We have a lot of clips that we talk about. We try to describe them as best as we can, but nothing beats seeing the
It's
thing
tough
for
though.
yourself.
You got to see it. So we try to put
especially
those.
with the full send stuff.
I
Like we
know.
can describe a dude like driving a motorcycle to a building, but you gotta see it
for yourself.
Oh, now I sound horrible. But
Yeah.
anyway, have a good week. We'll see you next week.